Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Easter to you. And on this day, I thought it's very appropriate that this tech savvy would take a different kind of turn. So we're looking at the need for us to break away, get away, particularly at the moment as we're still in lockdown, in effect. And would it be good to go somewhere different? And so my wife and I have both been experiencing the joy of going on virtual tours. These virtual tours are virtually free, but actually you can tip the person or give them some money. There are many different kinds of companies that do this, but I just want to just bring up this particular one that we found particularly useful, called Virtual Trips. And you will find some really great venues to go to, and it's absolutely phenomenal. So I'm just going to put the website down at the bottom of the screen so you can see it. Virtualtrips.io. It's about to change its name to Heygo, so I don't know if that will alter the website. I doubt it, but if it does, you'll know. So how do you get on these things? How does this happen? So let me take you on a virtual tour to a virtual trip. We have one happening at the moment in Treviso in Italy. So let's go and have a look and see how that works. So I'm just going to share my screen now. Share the audio. And here we are, actually just on my page here. So let's go to Virtual Trips. So how do you get on these tours? Well, if I put in that website, let's go over here first and type in Virtual Trips.io. You come to this site and you can see you've got an option here to sign up for free. You can just click that if you like and type in your email, and it will ask for a password. I've already done that. So what I've done now is I've booked in on these two. So at the moment, let's go and have a look and see what's happening in Treviso. So I click on the link that I've already booked. I booked for free. There is no cost to this. And I can join now if I wish. And we'll see if that trip is still operating. It looks like it's finished by the looks of it. My apologies. So I'll move back to the other trip and see if that's on operation. Let's have a look there. So we've missed that one, but is this happening now? Yes, it is. So we'll go to St. Francis Basilica. This is another Italy trip, and I can just click on the screen.
They're not blossoming all the time. It's only
here we are.
They're blossoming, but not all together. And in this moment, they told me the 10th of May is the best. But they can do it also maybe the week after. They will bloom for 1 week. I hope so. Thank you. Happy Easter. Thank you. You need the tour now.
So these guides are doing this as they are toured. That's a very short one, but you can get the idea that you're actually doing a live event and streaming it. So let's go back to the tour calendar and see what else is coming up. 11 o'clock, Krakow. So here I am. I can go to Krakow, or 11:45, I go to Shanghai. So I'm just going to book in for Krakow. This may not be such a joyful one, actually, looking at it. I saw it on the list. Suppose on a day which is Good Friday, it would be useful to actually do that. But say I wanted to join that, and we won't stay there very long. I don't want to depress anybody on this day, but let's have a look.
Organized Jew hunting with his rifle and telescope, shooting to the just prisoners. We're talking about the psychic problem of Amon Goeth.
So we're in Krakow. And we're actually live,
his crime.
and this is taking place right now
Shooting before
in
breakfast
Poland.
because he couldn't eat. Yes,
Yes,
there's
there's
a little bit at the top. One moment I come again to that part. Don't worry. That is the railway station below of Plaszów, and you know the Shell station or the petrol station there on the McDonald's or lower. But there's you see the block of flats. The old block of flats were put in the 90s, 20 years ago. Now slowly I'm moving again in the direction of the villa. That is a little in the middle of the slow hill in the western part of the camp. We go into the central point of the camp. I point you on the map in one moment. That's why don't worry. The maps are on the way. And the villa is exactly just there. But you see the street is going little up, 3% up. There was the fantasy of Amon Goeth to demolish two Jewish graveyards, and the matzevot in Hebrew, they were used as the pavement for the new street of SS Straße, so-called SS Street. There was the just humiliating Jews and showing that just a moment, just taking. Just slowly moving. You see the perambulators there, a lot of young families, they used to stay in the houses. The villas.
So that was just a quick look at that, so that you've got an idea of how these work. There are other touring ways that you can do this. For instance, this is a map that does a virtual tour, and we're looking at a French school. And on this, but this is static. There is no guide. You can go at your pace, and there are hotspots and places that you can click on. So let's go there and see what this is. This, in a sense, is less engaging in some ways, but also interesting in that you can see these little class bits down here. And if you wanted to go there inside this building, you'll be looking out across the street to this area here. So here we go. Let's take you in there. There is the school there, and this is the classroom. So we're actually in the classroom now of the Charles de Gaulle de Londres School. So that's another kind of tour. Or if it's good museums and galleries that you want to see, then certainly there are places that you can go to. So in effect, that is how you can do these virtual tours. I'm going to come back out of this if I can. And yep, let's go back a level here. And there is one of the museums. I don't know if I can take you into a museum. Oh, I fancy a Royal Palace. So let's go in there. And we can take a tour in the Royal Palace Royal Collection. It doesn't say which Royal Palace at the moment. I'm just looking to see. Oh, it's the British Royal Family, so it's Buckingham Palace. I've actually been there in the past, but not actually into the throne room. And so these are called hotspots, and if you click on that, it'll tell you a little bit of the history of the chairs of states. So it'll give you some background and tell you a little bit about what that is. You can move around the page by holding your mouse button down, and you can see not only the walls, you can also look up to the ceilings, and you have what's called a 360 view of these places. So although we can't physically go to these places, we can take a tour to them. So I do remember this staircase because I actually walked through here to get to the garden. So I actually walked up these staircases for a garden party when the Queen had her Jubilee. Never met the Queen, so that's something that has yet to be done on the bucket list, if there was to be a bucket list. So virtual touring and finding your way around. This is irevolution.co.uk, British site. And if we were to go back out again, we can look at all the different tours that they can do not only in this country, but also abroad, as we just mentioned there. And there's lots of places, California, a rugby stadium, broadcasting house, Peru, probably Machu Picchu, one of the most popular places to go on a VR trip. And here we are at the top of Machu Picchu. If we just scroll down and enter this virtual tour, you'll get an idea of what that looks like. But these are non-guided. But guides like this is possible on virtual tours, to have somebody leading you through the space and giving you not only a feel for the environment, but also a good idea of what the history is and the local locality of it. And I have to say, it's very immersive and it really works. So let's go back to our virtual tour of Krakow and the concentration camps, if I can get back in there. Let's have a look. No, not that one. Not that one. Okay, I seem to have missed him somehow or other. Let's have a look. Go back to virtual tours, virtual trips. Seem to be AGO, and we'll have a look at my trips that I've gone and chosen to go on. So here we are. And it's as simple as 3 clicks and you're there. So depending on what awful sites we're about to see, or none, hopefully still wandering around, I can start a stream.
8,000 prisoners passed through Plaszow.
There's the site of such horror.
Then turned into concentration camp, and then to an even transit camp. That was the treatment function of the camp.
And we're live actually there.
Virtually. The Polish women, they were forced to give the service.
Yes, I think enough of that. I know it's Good Friday and I should be more responsive, but I want to care for you and your sensibilities. So that really concludes it, and just say it's a really great idea, and one that I would exhort people to have a look at, especially in this time when we can't actually go anywhere. So do take up a virtual trip. And, we have felt that we could give them tips and things as well. And we've watched sunrises over Manly, a place in Australia we visited. We've traveled to Amsterdam. We've been abroad in Yugoslavia, in places that you wouldn't actually think of. So it's well worth finding out a little bit about the world, especially when you can't move around in it, as we in the Brits are actually suffering at the moment. So that's all for now. This has been Tech Savvy on virtual tours. And do please look them up and do enjoy the rest of your Easter. Bye for now.